Fantastic. Hi, everybody. My name is Ted Gonder. I'm the co-founder and CEO of MoneyThink. We are a national technology nonprofit focused on reducing the barriers to college persistence through financial coaching. There is an educational crisis in America today. Over the last 2 decades, the cost of college has risen by over 54%. The financial aid system is ill-suited to meet students who are most in need. We know this because every year, over 750,000 young people who are eligible for financial aid don't even apply. This is tremendously unfair because whereas high-income students graduate college at a rate of over 50%, low-income students graduate at a rate of under 10%. And this is not only unjust and unfair, but it is also economically precarious for our country because 2.5 years from now, in the year 2020, we're going to have 5 million jobs that are open with nobody to fill them. So this is a vast, vast problem. It's multifaceted. It requires collective action. But while we wait for federal and state policies to become enacted and take form, we need to take action as citizens. And that's what we're doing at MoneyThink. We're innovating, building, and scaling solutions to the college affordability crisis. Now, the challenges that low-income students face are vast and incredibly complex. So what we've decided to focus on is finding a few specific inflection points that low-income young people face in 12th and 13th grade, that transitional 2-year period where we can focus in and through a very low-cost, high-impact effort, drive significant differences in student outcomes downstream. So we've focused on 4 specific inflection points. The first is in the fall of senior year of high school. The second is in the spring. The third is the summer before a student enters college, the freshman year of college. And then the third is throughout the freshman year of college. So let's look at each of those and let's examine the problem. In the fall of senior year of high school, students have to decide where they're going to apply for college. But colleges are not particularly transparent about the individualized cost that students have to pay in order to attend that college. And so students have no objective way to cost compare. And what this leads to is a lot of times students choose colleges that they're inevitably set up to drop out of at some point over those 6 years. Then when we look at the spring semester of senior year, students have maybe gotten into college and they're being sent a bunch of financial information about their aid packages and their different options by the colleges that they've gotten into. But this information is often labyrinthine, it is incomplete, and oftentimes it's outdated. Up to 1/3 of colleges underrepresent the cost that students will have in these forms by up to $3,000. And so it makes it very hard for students to plan. That summer, before a student enters their freshman year of college, is a very, very dangerous time for students. It's a maze of challenges. One of the things that is notable about that summer period is a lot of students apply for college and get into college not yet knowing exactly how they're going to make ends meet, exactly how they're going to pay for it. They're navigating it as they go. And a lot of students that we work with don't have guidance along the way. So when the student gets their first bill in the mail, that's when the rubber hits the road. That's when they realize, oh my gosh, this is going to cost a lot of money. How am I going to pay for this? And many students don't actually make it past that point. A lot of students see the bill and they stop in their tracks. And that bill isn't the only thing. The students, the summer before college, are navigating a lot of family obligations as well. They are also expected to complete a variety of enrollment tasks that require them to have internet access or proximity to a post office. Many students that we work with don't have those things. And so this is described as a phase that many of you are probably familiar with called summer melt. And it leads to this tragic situation where up to 40% of low-income students who get into college never even show up on the first day. And then for the students who do show up on the first day and get in, that's just the beginning of a potentially very long, challenging slog through what many of us might remember as a quite positive experience, where a student is basically spending most of their time looking for work, working, and then sending some money home to their family and trying to study in the meantime. This is challenging because the time that the student is spending working is time that they could be spending studying, and if their grades drop, their aid gets pulled, and that's a problem. And so how do we know all this? We actually, after 7 years of building a successful national financial education nonprofit, decided to spend most of 2016 actually going across the country talking to students one-on-one, understanding their real financial challenges in college. And this story I'm about to share is not atypical. It's more the norm than the exception. We had a student at Indiana University Southeast who had run into a number of financial challenges, was working 2 jobs. One was at night, was paying off medical bills, and in sum, told us how he was balancing between work and school, and really felt guilty that he couldn't balance it. He felt grateful for the financial aid he'd gotten, but he just couldn't make ends meet, and was drinking more coffee to just try to show up wherever he could. And it was this kind of vicious cycle. But what's interesting about this student is how guilty and grateful the student felt, and the degree of the hustle that the student was putting in to make ends meet, to work basically 24/7 to pay for college and get grades along the way. And just imagine if that student was dedicating that hustle and that perseverance and that dedication to succeeding in college and beyond rather than just surviving. And so that's the potential that we're trying to unlock at MoneyThink by addressing these 4 key inflection points. In the fall, we have college coaches. We have college coaches that over text, video, and voice reach out to students, help them create a fair and accurate cost comparison, get into 2 or more colleges that they can actually afford and make it to the end. In the spring of senior year, our coaches work with students to put together accurate and realistic financial plans so that they can actually pay for college all the way through. In the fall of their freshman year of college, students receive support. In the summer before college, students receive support from our coaches to complete the enrollment tasks that are difficult to complete and navigate the financial challenges that come with that first bill. And then in the fall of their freshman year of college, students are directed to on-campus local resources, as well as given ongoing guidance by our coaching staff to balance work with school so their aid doesn't get pulled. Now, we've been doing this since fall of last year. It's been going great. We've been working with hundreds of students, and we're looking to scale with new partners. And so, there are multiple ways you can help and engage. The first is just as citizens. This is a call to action. This is a college affordability crisis. We're not the only actor in this space. We need a coalition. So one thing you can do is vote in favor of policies that drive down tuition prices for students in marginalized situations. And the second thing that you can do is work with organizations like MoneyThink by referring great talent. We're hiring for coaching roles and operating roles, as well as donating. College